This girl fights only with her legs. Yes, just like the video game character Chun-Li from Street Fighter. Mona Kimura has had plenty of fights in her career and is still undefeated. But how does she manage this? Can she fight with her hands? And most importantly, why does she fight only with her legs? The answers will shock you, so let's start from the very beginning. She evolves, and that's an extraordinary skill and gift. In the fight review, we'll take a closer look at this. Debut fight, November 16th, 2024. Her first opponent was the Japanese fighter Ai Ogiwara. We've talked so much about Kimura's legs, but she starts her debut fight with jabs. The first time she tries to load her leg, she ends up on the canvas. Her opponent managed to grab it. You can see how easily and effortlessly Mona hops around the ring on one leg. For such showboating, she did take a small hit, but for her, that's just a minor detail. Kimura responds with a solid hook. After this turn of events, Ogiwara rushed into a clinch, but Mona simply pushed her away, sending her onto the canvas. Ogiwara starts getting frustrated and lands some good hooks to Kimura's head. But this doesn't bother Mona at all. In fact, she quickly pays the debt. With a left straight right to the jaw. Ogiwara goes down in a knockdown. It looks like she didn't even realize what happened, but she managed to get back up quickly, which is already good. Mona starts taking the initiative. Another hook lands. Ogiwara tries to go into a clinch, but fails. Instead, she literally runs into Kimura's right hook, which sends her into a spectacular knockout. And once again, we see smiling Mona. Second fight, January 26, 2025. This time, her opponent was the Japanese fighter, Yuka. Mona almost immediately brings her legs into play, and it looks beautiful. At the same time, she doesn't forget to use her jabs. But when it comes to her legs, it looks like bullying. They land everywhere, both to the body and the head. And here comes that classic Chun-Li style, entire series of sharp kicks. You can clearly see Mona using her legs like a spear, meaning her legs don't allow her opponent to close the distance. Meanwhile, Mona's head seems completely out of reach, but if her opponent somehow manages to get past her leg, Mona remembers that she spent many years boxing. In simpler words, Kimura is a universal soldier. You never know what she's going to do next. Her leg looks like a snake about to strike, and that has a huge psychological effect on her opponent. One of her kicks here looks almost humiliating, as if Kimura is saying, "Step back, keep your distance." And she does it so calmly and confidently, as if she's at practice. You can imagine Yuka's frustration when elegant high kicks keep landing on her head, giving her no chance to even get close to her opponent. Yuka finally manages to land a straight punch to Mona's head, and that can be considered a big celebration. Kimura isn't afraid to exchange blows, actively using her full arsenal. More Chun-Li style bullying from Mona. This clearly angers Yuka. Emotions take over, and you can see it on her face. But that same face, just seconds later, absorbs a series of sharp jabs. Another beautiful, graceful high kick lands on poor Yuka's head. Right after that, a body kick follows, an unpleasant feeling. Another body kick sends Yuka to the canvas. We also see Mona making an interesting hand gesture, most likely a parody of fighting game characters. But Yuka quickly gets back up and continues. Still, nothing changes. Kimura completely takes over the initiative.
1ラウンドよりも詰まってきているんじゃないかなというふうに思います。
距離をじわじわと詰めながら今の空を切りましたが右を当てていきたいわけです。
During the break, Mona looks calm, cheerful, smiling. Yuka, on the other hand, looks angry and upset, realizing she is losing the fight. Yuka actively starts the final round, but it leads to nothing. Once again, she's overwhelmed by Kimura's legs and hands.
木村選手ですでそこをねパンチを合わせれば、
詰めていく
はい、倒せるっていうところは僕も、見てて思うので、はい、この前蹴りをどういうふうにさばくかもしくは避けるかかわされた時とかね例えば前蹴りが空を切った後にすぐにパンチを当てれば十分倒せるタイミングがあるんで
さあ伸びてきましたが
でもスペシャリストですね、本当に素晴らしいですこのタイミング
当てましたそして2つ蹴りを当てていきました木村さあゆかとしてはどんどん詰めていきながら持ち味のパンチを当てていきたい場面です
Mona begins to mercilessly unload on her opponent. Total domination.
パンチをもらったんで横向くところで止まらずに強引にいっちゃっていいと思いますね、はい
先ほどおっしゃった牙の部分ですね、
はい、そこがチャンスになると思うので、はい
殴っていこうというところですがさあ蹴りこの足が着地するそのタイミングでパンと入っていけるかと
そうですね、はいそこに、隙とチャンスを作れると思います、
やはりそういったのも
Kimura's dominance only grows. Everything she throws lands. Yuka is completely demoralized, but manages to survive all 3 rounds.
フェイントを入れて左です左ここでガードしていますガードの上からでもパンチ強烈です木村右を当てました
いやでも本当ゆか選手の顔がだいぶ赤くなってますよね
そうですよね、
は
だからずっとこの蹴りがですね顔面付近に当たっていますので顔付近が赤くなっています今のも受けましたボディです残り時間が少なくなってきましたまさにその蹴りを出すタイミングも変幻自在という木村
いや本当全く崩れないのがね
A beautiful victory for Mona by unanimous decision. The third and so far latest fight of